Hello everybody, Sunday Adelaja here. I'm here to continue my charge to Nigeria and Nigerians, and my topic today is corporal punishment must be amended in African schools. We must amend corporal punishment. Oh, how I suffered from that thing when I was in Africa. These my hands, and my backside, and my, and my spine. They beat the hell out of me, both at home and in schools. But, we're in 21st century, and it's time that we should know better. Let me show you a video right now. And this video is just a standard thing. It's an example of what happens in Africa on a regular basis. Where is the video? Okay, you see? You see what is happening? This happens all the time. I was being beaten like this too, And this is even 2-2. Sometimes they'll beat you, they will count 10 or 20 or 12. You see? Putting grown-up people, adults or teenagers down like that, you are destroying their psyche. You are messing up with them, with their future. And they will think this is discipline. It's like basically the only discipline that African parents and teachers know is, abusing children like this. This is an abuse. It is not discipline. It's an abuse. This must cease. It must stop. This all came to us from Europe, from England. But even there, where it came from, it has stopped now. So why is it that we will not stop it? We should stop this dehumanizing of human beings. This is the dehumanizing of people. And we have to stop it. So corporal punishment must be amended in Nigerian schools and in African schools. Recent studies have also shown that corporal punishment is associated with increased aggression. So why do you think a lot of Nigerians are aggressive? Because of this kind of attitude to them from home to schools. And it makes more likely that children will be defiant in their future when they have been exposed to this kind of corporal punishment. The things will be difficult for them in their future. They will find things difficult, and they will, be defiant to leaders, to rules. That's why Nigerians don't obey the law. They don't follow the rules. They are defiant to rules because of the psychological trauma that have been given to them from when they were growing up. Spanking alone is associated with outcomes similar to those of children who experience physical abuse. The new academic, that is what the conclusion is. That's what it says. That it's like, somebody being raped. When you spank somebody, it's an abuse. There are potential ramifications to the brain as well. When you beat children, there is brain damage. Not brain damage like physical damage, but there is a brain change. There is a change in the brain. In 2009, there is a study where 23 people were examined. And all of the 23 people were exposed to one form of harsh corporal punishment of the other. And what was discovered is that in all of them, there is a reduction in gray matter volume. What is gray matter volume? It is in the area of prefrontal cortex, the prefrontal cortex that is believed to play a crucial role in social cognition. And that place is damaged because of children being beaten. Those exposed to harsh punishment also had a lower performance in their IQ than those that were in control, that were in good environment, that were in control group. So the research shows that corporal punishment contributes to a host of serious personal and social problems in children. That's why you have problems in the families. Because most of the times, the boy was beaten when he was small, or the girl was beaten when she was small, and that creates, conflict. That's why there is always aggression and conflict in the family. So, what are the consequences? Let me just give you the consequences of being, children that are beaten when they were growing up, especially in schools, not even by their parents, but in schools. Those children, they demonstrate more of aggression. They become criminals. They commit crimes. They abuse their spouses. They beat wives. They commit child abuse. They suffer from depression. They all often suffer from suicidal thoughts. They have distorted sexual behavior towards the opposite sex. They are impaired in learning ability. They struggle with their studies in classrooms or later in life, and lower occupational success when they begin to work, and even lower income. So these are some of the few consequences of that people carry alongside their lives, and they cannot explain it. Why is it that they struggle there? Why is it that they are not making it here? Because of corporal punishment. This explains most instances of violence, ranging from a parent hitting a child. When you begin to hit your child anyhow like that, not that you don't punish your children, and the Bible says that you should not spare a rod. Now, I agree with the Bible that don't spare the rod, but corporal punishment is something different. It's much more harsher and wicked. Can you see the video we just saw? Than just not sparing the rod like a parent would do. Even if his parent is doing it, I still understand that. But in schools, I think schools don't have the right to do that. So now, but what is happening in the family when a parent just slaps the child, that is not sparing the rod. You are supposed to explain to them. You are supposed to let them know what is wrong, and there must be consequences that leads to you not sparing the rod. So, but when you just hit a child, that is not discipline already. That is aggression. And this aggression from a parent to a child will later on go from that child to the sibling. And then then it will grow from that child, boy, growing up to begin to slap the wife when he grows up. Or the wife will begin to slap and beat the husband when she grows up. So, and it goes beyond that. It goes to the society. That aggression will now be demonstrated in the society when a child is stabbing. Like in England, for example, there is a big problem of stabbing. And if you notice it, you will see that this stabbing tradition in schools in England, it is among the black children. Because the aggression, they are slapping them, they are beating them at home. That is what they take outside now. That aggression is from the attitude of beating that they have endured at home. Now they stab one another in the school, then they marry, then they begin to have boyfriend, girlfriend. They begin to stab or beat their girlfriends and their wives, and then later on some of them will commit capital punishment or capital crime at wartime, or when there's an opportunity like that, they go and do evil things, capital punishment to people. So, but most of the thing that we forget is, and that we don't really take time to teach people, is that differences must not be dealt with violence. That differences has to be dealt with without violence. That no matter the situation, no matter the conflict, no matter the problem, let's resolve it without violence. But most of our people, when there is any problem, we want to do it and resolve it in a violent way. There was a situation here in my own house here the other time when the Africans had an issue with one of the Ukrainian staff here with me. And most of our African people were so aggressive about it, and they were wondering, why is it that I was not showing the same aggression? Because it is programmed in them. They don't even notice it, even though they are my disciples, but it is all through aggression they are trying to resolve. But no, we should not be resolving problems through aggression. We should be resolving problems through negotiation. But studies also show that those kids who have been spanked or beaten when they are growing up tend to be better. Those kids that were not spanked, that were not beaten when they were growing up, they grow up better behaved. They are better in schools. They grow up healthier. They tend to have better marriages. They earn more money and live better lives. This is not me who's saying it. This is a research that was done. Studies were done upon people who were spanked when they were young and people who were not beaten. A society that brings up children by caring for them, by having a humane attitude towards them, by teaching them non-violence, and by teaching them methods of resolving situations without violence, that society is going to be less violent eventually. And that society will be healthier. And that society will be even richer and wealthier. And that's why we're having this situation we have right now in Nigeria. Why is it that we're having all this myriad of problems? Because of it's connected also to the way we were treated when we were young, both in our families and in the schools. So when there is aggression and violence towards children, they grow up and become that society. The society will become an aggressive society. It will become a violent society. So the elimination of corporal punishment will have profound and far-reaching benefits to Nigeria, Africa, and humanity in general. Even the United Nations agrees with this and has started a global program to stop corporal punishment for children, based on their findings that the practice is counterproductive, relatively ineffective, dangerous, and harmful. So the UN has considered it a violation of human rights. But in Nigeria and in Africa, the corporal punishment in schools are still going on. But in Europe, 17 European nations have even totally outlawed it. They have outlawed corporal punishment both in schools and at home. Even if you are beating your own children in Europe, I think that is going too far. But in Europe, you are going to be arrested for it. As a result, over 26 million European children are legally protected by the law from them being beaten, either in the school or even by their own parents. And their society is being less violent. The European society is less violent than, let's say, even America, where they don't have that law. And if talk less of developing countries like Africa. So the same ban that Europeans have introduced in their schools and their families has also been adopted by Israel. And now, and many other countries are going that route. But I think in Africa, we need to start with school corporal punishment and physical punishment has to stop, because it has also been established that physical punishment and corporal punishment like that is also associated with increased mental illness. So we don't want that kind of a society where our people, our children are growing up unhealthy and damaged and abused and mentally sick. So for us to heal Nigeria, let's start healing the process. Let's start the healing process by healing our children. Let's start changing our attitude to the children. Let's start treating our children like human beings. Let's start relating to them with dignity, respect, honor, peace, love. If we could cover our children with more love, our society will grow up to become a healthier society and a more loving society. For the love of God, church, and nation. Peace.